Today we'll be going over the top 10 most popular or best commanders in red, white, black, Mardu, my favorite color pairing. At number 10 we have Kelsien the Plague. For red, white, black you get a 2/2 Vigilance Haste Human Assassin. Kelsien the Plague gets +1/+1 for each experience counter you have. Tap, Kelsien deals 1 damage to target creature you don't control. When a creature that was dealt damage by Kelsien this turn dies, you gain an experience counter. Kelsien is pretty useless. He comes out on 3, which is solid, but he's just edgy Prodigal Pyromancer. The fact that he gains experience counters is much better than him getting +1/+1 counters, because he will be targeted by your opponents. Vigilance lets him attack and still tap and shoot creatures, but the fact you can't shoot your own things hurts it. So we come to Death Touch. Kelsien just needs to be able to use his ability effectively and consistently. So you gotta run some pretty bad cards. Gift of Doom, Void Beckoner, Aspect of the Gorgon, Gorgon's Head, to be able to give him Death Touch consistently. Once you jump through the hoop of giving him Death Touch so he can effectively kill creatures, Kelsien can kill 1 creature per turn and effectively get +1/+1. with the experience counter. At number 9 we have Silvar, Devourer of the Free, and Trynn, Champion of Freedom. Silvar is a 4/2 Cat Nightmare for 3 black-red. It partners with Trynn, so you can have both of them as your commander. Has Menace, and you may sacrifice a human and put a 1/1 counter on Silvar. It gains indestructible until end of turn. Trynn, Champion of Freedom, is a 3/3 human soldier for 3 and a white. At the beginning of your end step, if you attack this turn, you create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Trynn's ability feeds into Silvar's ability to attack and be indestructible, while Silvar sacrificing a creature but making sure it attacks means that Trynn will always be generating human tokens. They come down on curve, with Trynn hopefully giving you a 1/1 human before Silvar attacks for the first time. This lends well to a human tribal / aristocrats list, which does sound interesting. Cards like Increasing Devotion, Hero of Precinct 1, and 3-man Doomsayer give you an additional token, while Skullclamp, Zilliport Cutthroat, Judith, Scourge Diva, and Zathra Necromancer all love the tokens that you'll be making. Unfortunately, the commanders don't really interact a lot with themselves with the Aristocrats engine, but they do provide a small engine by themselves while they're on board together. Silvar, Devourer of the Free, and Trynn, Champion of Freedom. And our number 9. At number 8 we have Licia, Sanguine Tribune. Alright plebs, Licia here's to weaponize life gain. Yes, life gain. Gaining life makes her cost less, so her converted mana cost of 8 is misleading. Her ability to pay life and put 3 1/1 counters on herself is actually fantastic, as even if you are chump blocked, you're still going to be gaining a lot of life. The ability to pay 5 life may as well be an upkeep trigger because you're never not paying it. So Licia is swinging in and giving the people of Rome a lot of life. What do you do with your ever-expanding life total? Well, you're going to spend it. With cards like Vona, Butcher of Megan, you can pay 7 life and exile target non-land permanent. Divinity of Pride and Sarah Ascendant will use your high life total to become very large creatures, while Aetherflux Reservoir can nuke opponents for 50 damage, or you can nuke their 1/1 vampire token because it looked at you funny. Rock's Faith Mender and Boon Reflection double your life gain, or you can use Defiant Broodlord and Sanguine Bond to make sure you gaining life is equally as painful to your opponent. Number 8. Licia, Sanguine Tribune. At number 7 we have Mathas, Fiend Seeker. For red, white, black, you get a 3/3 with Menace. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a bounty counter on target creature and opponent controls. For as long as that creature has a bounty counter on it, it has, when this creature dies, each opponent draws a card and gains 2 life. So, to clarify the rules, 1. The target creature that gets a bounty counter still has the triggered ability it gains if Mathas leaves the battlefield. This is great. If a creature with a bounty counter on its head dies, everyone but the controller of that creature gains 2 life and draws a card. 2 creatures that receive a bounty counter from other than Mathas' ability resolving won't gain the triggered ability. Also, the ability doesn't stack if you have something like Doubling Season. This means that Mathas' bounty counter has the on-death ability. Cards like Bounty Hunter can tap and put a bounty counter on another creature. However, Mathas' ability won't apply to those creatures. It can tap to destroy a creature with one of Mathas' bounty counters on it. Confused? Great. Beyond that, Mathas is 2 life and a card draw for you and 3 out of 4 of your opponents each turn. The 4th person will most likely start targeting you, and honestly, Mathas feels much better in the 99, not as a commander. That being said, he is number 7 for the most played commanders on EDH Rec. At number 6, we have Zurgo Helmsmasher. For 2 red, white, black, you get a 7/2 Orc Warrior with haste. Zurgo Helmsmasher attacks each combat if able. He has indestructible as long as it's your turn, and whenever a creature dealt damage by Zurgo Helmsmasher dies, you put a 1/1 counter on Zurgo Helmsmasher. First, can I just say the name sounds like something I would name my World of Warcraft character when I was 12. Anyways, a 7/2 is nothing to scoff at. Self-granting indestructible circumvents a lot of the need to protect him. The +1/+1 counters will be less relevant as this guy is secretly a tribal commander. That's right, we're tribal mass removal. Most mass removal is sorcerer speed, meaning Zurgo won't die to your constant board wiping. Blasphemous Act, Chandra's Ignition, Fumigate, Day of Judgment, Wrath of God, Damnation. All of these are played to make sure you have Zurgo and your opponents have nothing. This is a fun deck to run exactly once, as your friends probably won't want to have to learn that your entire plan is to kill everything but Zurgo. And speaking of, this is World Slayer. A 5-mana artifact with equip cost of 5. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, destroy all permanents other than World Slayer. Because this is a destruction effect, Zurgo won't die to the effect, however it will kill absolutely everything else, including everyone's lands. You don't need lands, you have Zurgo. Zurgo, number 6. At number 5 we have Sir Gwyn, Hero of Ashvale. For 3 red, white, black, you get a 5/5 with Vigilance and Menace. Whenever an equipped creature you control attacks, you draw a card and lose 1 life. Equipment you control have Equip Knight 0. I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of Sir Gwyn. She is, however, the 5th most played commander in Mardu colors on EDH Rec, so I assume other people do like her. Sir Gwyn is a Knight and Equipment tribal commander. With her being a 5/5 for 6 mana, I would imagine her as your curve topper, coming in and allowing you to move around your equipment. I did a whole top 5 Swords of X and Y video, but you could make a case for each one of those going into a Sir Gwyn build. Stoneforge Mystic, Steel Shaper's Gift, and Open the Armory all easily allow you to tutor your equipment and grab whatever you need. Leonin Shakiri allows you to equip at instant speed, while Pure Steel Paladin lets you equip for free regardless of the creature type. From there, you load up with generically powerful knights and equipment and smash some face. I think the most fun you can have is trying to use cards like Colossus Hammer and Loxodon Warhammer on some random knight and go ham, but I feel as though you'd be better off playing Ruhan of the Fomori. Sir Gwyn also leads into a very nice Sunforger build. If you want to have a deck focused around Sunforger, Sir Gwyn might be the best commander for that. Gwyn's number 5. At number 4, we have Alesha, who smiles with death. For 2 in a red, you get a 3/2 warrior with first strike. Whenever Alesha, who smiles at death, attacks, you may pay black, white, black, white. If you do, return target creature card with power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, tapped and attacking. Alesha is my current favorite deck, and I'm going to gush a bit here. She gives you a unique deck building requirement if you're like Wizards of the Coast and forget Grenzo, and encourages attacking. You're going to need ways to put creatures in the yard, and you have Alesha to bring them back. Cards like Faithless Looting, Zombie Infestation, Cathartic Reunion, all of these help with putting creatures into the graveyard. You're going to want to run a few sacrifice outlets as well, with Altar of Dementia being amazing, being both a sacrifice outlet as well as filling up your graveyard for future plays. Alesha herself will be attacking a lot, so you'll need a way to protect her. Reconnaissance lets you untap her after her triggers on the stack, and Nahiri's Machinations gives her indestructibility. Both allow you to keep attacking with Alesha. All of this is to set up recurring creatures with power 2 or less. I love finding the perfect small creature to bring back turn after turn. Your opponent has a troublesome creature, you can use Necrotal or Ravenous Chupacabra. Troublesome land, Avalanche Riders destroys any lands. More people should play Alesha. She's number 4 on the list, and I believe she should be number 1. At number 3, we have Kaalia of the Vast. Do you like dragons, demons, angels? How about a commander that not only supports all 3, but encourages you to drop big fatties on the board each and every turn? Kaalia of the Vast is a human cleric for 1 red, white, black. She's a 2/2 with flying. Whenever Kaalia of the Vast attacks, you may put an angel, demon, or dragon creature card from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking. The good Kaalia, no, not you, lets you drop big creatures onto the battlefield each time she swings for no mana. Avacyn? Yep. Gisela, Blade of Gold Knight? Yep. Rakdos? Yes sir. The deck is very straightforward, and you can customize it in several ways, such as having only one of the creature types, or having a binder full of cards that you swap out each time you play the deck. The downsides of Kaalia are twofold. 1, she has no inherent protection, and she will die to absolutely anything, including shocks. 2, she has no haste, so your opponents will have a chance each turn to kill her before she has a chance to swing. So do your girl a favor, get her some nice Swift Foot Boots or Lightning Greaves, and throw some scary monsters around. Number 3 is for Kaalia of the Vast. At number 2, we have Queen Marchesa. Queen Marchesa is 1 red, white, black for a 3/3 with Death Touch and Haste. When Queen Marchesa enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, if an opponent is the monarch, put a 1/1 black assassin creature token with Death Touch on the battlefield. Now, to quickly explain the Monarch ability, at the beginning of the Monarch's end step, that player draws a card. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to the Monarch, its controller becomes the Monarch. Queen Marchesa is the politics commander, bringing into the game the Monarch mechanic when she enters the battlefield. Though she shouldn't be your only Monarch card, playing politics can sometimes mean you get targeted and will lose your crown. Don't be Jon Snow and take the title back with cards like Knight of the Black Rose, Custody Lich, and Palace Jailer. Each of these gain a benefit while you're on the throne and give you the monarchy as well. With cards like Ghostly Prison, Blind Obedience, and Windborn Muse, you're going to be much less likely to be attacked, allowing you to convince some opponents to do your dirty work, all while removing anything that dares come your way with cards like Exterminate. If you are attacked, the 1/1 Death Touching Hasty Assassin token will allow you to quickly retake the monarchy. Number 2, Marchesa. Was that too many Game of Thrones jokes? At number 1, we have Edgar Markov. For 3 red, white, black, you get a legendary creature, Vampire Knight, 4/4. He has the Eminence ability, meaning that whenever you cast another vampire spell, if Edgar Markov is in the command zone or on the battlefield, you create a 1/1 black vampire creature token. He naturally has First Strike and Haste, and whenever Edgar Markov attacks, put a 1/1 counter on each vampire you control. This guy generates insane value, and due to his Eminence ability, you don't even have to cast him to start getting the vampire creature tokens. Mr. Markov is perfect for Vampire Tribal and sports the best colors for the archetype, as he can get both the Innistrad vampires as well as the Ixalan vampires. Skull Clamp is a must, as you essentially turn his Eminence ability into play a vampire, pay 1 mana, draw 2 cards. His deck features a lot of vampire lords such as Stromkirk Captain, Captivating Vampire, and Legion Lieutenant, each giving all your Bloodsuckers an additional +1/+1. This is further enhanced by Edgar himself, giving each vampire a +1/+1 counter each time he swings, including himself. You can do the go wide strategy with his tokens, pumping them up with the aforementioned lords, or sack them and win with Blood Artist-like effects. See EDH Viable, Twilight fans love him, most decks on EDH Rec in Mardu colors. That's it for the top 10 most popular Mardu Commanders. Popularity was determined by the number of decks on EDH Rec. Who's your Mardu Commander? Mine's Alesha. I'd love to know down in the comments. Alright nerds, that's it for today.
Always remember to subscribe if you're new. Please leave us a nice like and also leave a comment. Other than that, guys, have a great day.